Welcome to the WEInvested Podcast, where we teach you how to save and make more cash. I'm your host, Wesley and here I have with me
Jacob Rodriguez.
And this is Season 2, Episode 5, Saving for Your Kids' College. But before we get started, I must let you know that we do not offer any financial, legal, or tax advice on this show. Let's do it. All right, man. So today's episode is about saving for your kids' college, which I think is a big topic and really important to most people. I think most people want their children to go to school and get further their education.
Yeah, definitely. And kind of a cool way you can do that. That's smart and that grows your money while you're saving.
For sure, man. So I'm gonna get into the cash quote of the day. It says, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest, which I 100% believe in. I agree with totally.
Yeah, totally.
Nothing is more powerful than knowledge and knowing things and reading things. So I think that's the best way to go about whatever you want to do, is just get knowledge in it and understanding of it.
Yeah, totally. What a lot of people say is the best investment is, an investment in yourself, right?
That's a fact.
And the nice thing is that usually investing in yourself doesn't require, that much money. You just read books, take classes, it's really not too much in the grand scheme of things, but it can really pay off for you.
For sure, man. But what will add up in the grand scheme of things
Nice.
is going to college.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The average cost of the college tuition today is around $11,000 for an in-state public college.
Yeah, so that's definitely on the cheaper end, right?
A very cheap end.
Yeah.
For about $11,000 a year, which still...
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
For sure, man, but it's definitely on the cheap end.
Yeah.
And so I guess it's been predicted that the cost, or it's data shows that the cost of college will continue to increase by around 4% a year.
Yeah, and that's, a lot of people will probably agree with saying that inflation should be around 2% per year. So really the cost of college is, increasing, 2% more than that. So you really have to save in a strategic way, because, just putting, the same amount of wages into a savings account won't really do it.
For sure, man. And so before we get into the student loan debt amount, what school did you go to?
Yeah, I went to a small liberal arts school in Sacramento called William Jessup University. Thankfully, they had a ton of scholarship offers, and they're pretty liberal in giving scholarships, so I was able to go for a reasonable price, which was good. How about you, man?
I went to Campbell University. It was not reasonable price at all.
Yeah, yours sounds expensive.
Nah, man, but it was a great school, cool experience, but
yeah, well, it's worth it. I mean, totally.
Yeah, for sure, man. But I guess that segue into the next part, the student loan debt for 2020, 2019. It's 2020 right now, but the 2019.
We don't got those numbers yet. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But the student loan debt is at $1.5 trillion.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's nuts. Yeah, it's hard to really even think about how big that number is, but it's very big.
And it's gonna keep growing, and it's like, I feel like it's never gonna stop.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it looks like.
Pay there. Right.
Yeah, right. It's crazy. Yeah, the cost of college is definitely not going down on a steep curve or anything like that. It's expensive.
For sure, man. So let's get into one way that a person, a parent, a grandparent, guardian, whoever can save for their kids.
Mm-hmm.
Their, whatever young person in their life, and kind of set them up for a better future.
Yeah.
So a way to do that is through a 529 plan.
Yeah, otherwise known as a 529 plan. I've never heard anyone say it.
Sure.
529.
That's a fact.
I don't know why.
529 plan. Let's get it.
That's funny.
But yeah, man. So you want to let the people know what a 529 plan is, my brother?
Yeah, man. So it's just a savings account that you can invest in, any number of things, but it's specifically, those funds are meant for education. So there's a few different kind of rules around that we'll get into later, but it's a really good way to build up some funds for college later on.
For sure, man. And so anybody in the U.S. over the age of 18 can open up a 529 plan.
Yeah.
For for their loved one or whoever they're trying to save up for. So it's pretty much no restrictions.
Yeah.
As long as you have, some sort of identification number or whatever, and you're over 18, you can go and open an account for someone.
Yeah, totally. And that's the important thing too. So like if if I was to open up a 529 plan, I'm not just restricted to, using that money for my kids. I could use it for like my nieces, my nephews. And there's some, even I think with the new tax law that went into place too, it's not even just for higher education either. You can use it for primary school if you're wanting your kid to go to a private school or something like that. So there's a lot of flexibility around it too. Or you could even use it for your own education too, which is an awesome idea.
Yeah, man, it is an awesome idea. And so people that can contribute to the 529 plan don't just have to be the person that opened the account for you.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it can be your grandparents, it can be a family member, non-family member, whoever you decide, they can add money to that 529 plan for you, so you can, so that can further your education and help you go further in life.
Yeah, totally. And now that I think about it, my family does something kind of similar. So like my sister, she had a kid who's 4 now, and instead of buying him more toys, we have the option, anyone in our family, to be able to contribute to his college later down the line. So it's really kind of a cool way that different members of the family or whoever can contribute to a kid's future education.
For sure, man. And I think another cool point to this is the professional money management that comes with it. So depending on like kind of who you open your account with, who you get started with, it'll be professionally managed and professionally invested and properly diversified. And so you don't really have to worry too much about if your money's in the right things. But you do have control over what you invest in, but it's still like,
Yeah, totally. And I think we even forgot to mention the really cool part about the 529 plan, because you could theoretically open up any investment account and invest for education. But the really great thing about the 529 plan is that you can use the money that's in that account, and then if it's used for education purposes, there's no federal taxes that are taken out once you withdraw that money, compared to an actual investment brokerage account where you would have to pay taxes. So it's a great way to grow money without having to pay taxes, and you can still use it for a good thing.
Yeah, man, and that tax advantage is like it's unbeatable.
Yeah, there's
getting the chance to see your money grow
totally
tax free.
Yeah, there's probably no better way for you to save up for an education right now than a 529 plan, just almost solely because of that tax advantage.
For sure, man. And so one of the next I guess rule to this, or whatever, is this can be used at the college or graduate level. And so the funds are generally used for tuition, fees, books, supplies, study equipment, and room and board.
Yeah, so it's pretty broad, which is awesome.
Right.
Yeah, it's not just for tuition.
Right, that's everything you'll need in school.
Yeah, totally.
It can be covered.
Yeah.
And so the way you will receive your money, or your check, or your contributions, or whatever, is your institution which you open your account with. They'll either send a check to you, they'll send a check directly to your school, or they can send a check to the beneficiary or the person that the account is for, so they can use the funds as they need it, to buy books or whatever else is approved on the list. Yeah,
totally.
And man, this is something cool that you pointed out. Is next point right here about the
about being used for private schools. So this is something that me and my wife are actually thinking about, because we're thinking about, we both had a little bit of time in private schools, and we thought it was really, really good for us having kind of a smaller classroom size. And I think a lot of people, kind of want that for their kids, especially now that, at least where we're at, there's like, one teacher per every 35, 40 kids. You want your kid to have a little bit more special attention than that. So, we're thinking about opening up something like this, even though we don't have any kids and no plans to have kids in the next few years. it's just a good thing that we know that we're going to either have to pay for college someday, or, we're going to want to pay for private school. So it really doesn't hurt because we know those expenses are coming up, even if they are in, 10 years or so. We just want to be prepared for those. So it's just a really flexible, good tool.
Right, man. It gives you the chance to be proactive and not cause you guys any stress in the future when you, trying to figure out how you can pay for this or whatever. Your future kids will have a chance to go wherever they want.
Yeah. Hopefully that's kind of the goal. Just, they hopefully won't be as constrained by finances as, other situations.
For sure, man. And so another, some other important parts or important pieces to a 529 plan are the tax advantages and the tax information that comes with it. So we kind of hit on the first one. Yeah. That, your earnings grow tax-free, federal income tax free. But I think another important part to this is that you can make a withdrawal from your 529 plan at any time.
Yeah, even if it's not for education.
Right. And if it's not for education, then you will have to pay a 10% penalty tax. But, it's better to have that money and have access to it than to not. So it's like that penalty tax really, depending on how, I don't think it's significant.
Yeah, you definitely wouldn't want to take from it all the time, but like in a really bad situation, the money's there and it's available for you to use, which is really nice.
Right, man. And then that brings us to, I think, our last point about 529 plans is that what happens if your child receives a scholarship, academic or athletic scholarship to attend a school, or they attend a, they want to go to the military or whatever the case may be. Yeah. I think it's still very, it's like a peace of mind to know that even if they do get a scholarship, which is what everybody wants, every parent wants, definitely, you'll still be able to access that 529 plan funds. Yep. You can send it out as like maybe a scholarship of your own, or you can just withdraw it and, you know, whatever you want to do with it. So I think that's a really cool part about, this 529 plan.
Yeah, totally.
529 plan.
Yeah, and even if you just want to help someone, like, if your kid, doesn't end up going to school, you'll probably know a kid who's going to school who needs some help. So it's a great way.
Yeah, man, for sure, man. But this was a good one, man. I like this one, 529 plan.
Yeah, this is an awesome thing that more people should take advantage of.
Yes, sir. So, Jacob, could you let the people know how they can get in contact with you, how they can follow you?
Yeah, man.
Let them know.
Yeah. I'm pretty much solely on Instagram. Some recent developments there. I've noticed I've had a little bit of a following pop up, a little fan page. So, I'm just that's a little new for me. So I'm testing the waters on that. But man, it's good. So you can find me at Here's Me Jacob. But fame feels a little weird.
and you said, what's the name of the fan base? We gotta let the people know, man. That's the best part.
Man, I think it's something about the Rodmigos or something like that.
Hey, that's hard.
Yeah, it's pretty astounding that I only have like maybe 50 followers.
That's hard. The Rodmigos. Hey, shout out to them. Shout out to the fan base.
Yeah. Keep it going, guys.
Yes, sir. And so you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube at WEInvested, and you can check us out online at WEInvestedonline.com. Thank you guys for tuning in.